Hi, everybody. We're here this week for another inspired by FreeSpirit fabrics. We are doing this every other week now, and we might have some weeks where we do it every week in a row. But right now, we're just doing it every other week, and we are so glad that you are joining us this week. So we welcome you. We're really glad that you're here. We're doing something a little bit different this week. We are doing it from the FreeSpirit office, and I have a couple of my colleagues with me here today, and I will be introducing them shortly. Today is Thursday, January 28th of 2021. I can't believe we're already almost through the month of January, another month of lockdown. I'm Sharon Thornton with FreeSpirit Fabrics. Have to introduce myself. Sometimes I forget. We are going to be showing you fabrics this week that are delivering in the month of November, December, and January. These are fabrics that are going to be shipping to stores right now or have already just delivered or about to deliver. So we want to share some of the fun with you this week. This is something we're going to try to do in upcoming weeks as well. And so I just wanted to, let you all know that this is something to look forward to for the future. Let us know what you think. Send us hearts, send us thumbs up, ask us some questions. Lindsay Dryden will be on. She'll be posting some links and she'll be answering questions if she can. We'll be trying to look at some of the questions as we go, and we'll try to answer your questions as we go. And we're really looking forward to showing you everything. Let us know where you're from. We always like to know that too. We know that we have people tuning in from around the world, and we love to know that. And let me look at my notes here. We will be posting this to our Facebook page, our Instagram page, and our YouTube page. So you can come back and re-watch this if you want, or look at it again if you missed some of it or are about to. We hope that you don't, but in case you need to, you can. So I'm going to change the camera over to one camera now, and I'm going to introduce behind the scenes. She's our managing director of FreeSpirit Fabrics.
Hey everyone.
And here's Sarah. She's all masked up. Sarah Asby, and Sarah helps us in marketing and sales and inspiration. She's the glue that holds us together. So I'm so glad to have
the thread in our seams.
That's right. So glad to have Nancy, Ian, Sarah with me today. So without further ado, we're going to start showing you some fabrics here.
Well, hello everyone and welcome. We hope this is a visual feast for you, but this is stuff that is at your local retailer now. So I think you need to absorb all of it, make your wish list, and run to your nearest quilt shop, not walk, or let them know you want it and do a curbside pickup, whatever's happening in your part of the world. I'm going to start right here. I'm going to give it a little scan. I hope you can see it. This is Timholtz Abandon. This should be in stores now. Now this is, if you know Timholtz, this is a little different than anything he's done before. But that's the best part about this. This is a total departure from what Tim has ever done. It's perfectly imperfect. And it's inspired by a mixed media line of his paper. It's a visual artistry of color and texture and typography, all of what Tim is known for. So each design completely different, yet they all work with each other, which is what Eclectic Elements is all about. So the whole idea is about combining these designs. I'll just go through them really quickly. As you can see, that it still has a bit of Tim in there with the typography and the hidden designs like the music symbols, but the colors are just so rich and beautiful. And this one to me, a neutral, looks like negatives, like the old negatives you used to get with your pictures. That's what that looks like to me, but you can see, look at the typography that's in that too. Really interesting, great for background or a neutral in your quilt. This one, again, the typography is in there, just swaths of color that are just like scratched the surface of Abandon. Everything okay? This one, this mosaic, this is just beautiful. The dark colors with the light neutrals in there. You can see if I get closer, you see the typography. This looks like cracked eggs, doesn't it? I just think it's just beautiful. There's so much you can do with this fabric. Here's another one, again, with the typography and these beautiful greens that are built in here and the golds. And here's the brown too, that goes back to some of these other things that we've already looked at. This is like a neutral, a damask with writing and stuff, the typography in there too. But you could see, I don't know if you could tell, there's like grays and blues in this that can go back to some of those other fabrics I showed you. So it's not just a neutral, there's color in there. And this one as well. Again, the scratched surface of the beautiful color and the typography that's in there. This one, I want to show you this one. This is like a solid, very black, but there's more than black in here. There's grays and neutrals, and look at the wording that's hidden in here. So this is your solid, so to speak, and another neutral that has tones of green in it. I don't know if you could tell that there are real tones of green in this that really actually.
So Nancy just told us all about the abandoned fabrics, which are just gorgeous. So I won't go back over that, but we'd like to show you some of the inspiration that's on our sales folders. So this quilt right here is called Tile Work. It was designed by Chris Hoover at Whirligig Designs, and you can see how beautiful the provisions are in this quilt, as well as the abandoned one. And you can see how nicely it cuts up, and they all work together with one another. I know this is a virtual image, but we do have a real quilt to show you. But you can see as you look at the collection how beautifully it all works together, and the colors all complement one another. And then here are two versions of a bounce quilt. And these are designed by Tammy Silvers for Tamarini's, and she has done the same quilt in two different colorways, and you can see how completely different the quilt looks depending on the placement of the fabrics. So both of those quilts are very contemporary and modern, and yet show how nicely, again, the fabrics complement one another, and also, you know, they play well together. And then when you have this one here, you know, how different this quilt looks from this one, yet it's the same pattern, just a you know, replacement of fabrics. And then lastly, here's the virtual image, but this is the quilt that we actually have to show you. This is called Hyde Park quilt. This can be made with back quarters. It's designed by Marsha Owens from Common Street Commons. It's where you can find the pattern. And Nancy, if you want to pan that over to the wall, they can see the quilt in real life. So that's it. That quilt was made by Marsha. And look at how beautiful the fabrics look all together. You know, so we showed you the virtual image, but look how completely different it looks as we show you the quilt up close and how fun those fabrics are. This quilt, Nancy showed you the crackle. This fabric's really beautiful, reading as a solid, yet not. And then we have some of Tim's older one of his SKUs in here. We got a little thread. But one of his older SKUs, where you can see how his older SKUs play with the new SKUs, with the abandoned, with the, you know, the provisions that we just came out with. They all play beautifully together. So if you have some or you don't have some, you should get some so that you can start working all these fabrics together.
And that's the beauty of his eclectic elements. Like I said, they're perfectly imperfect, but yet they all work together in a unique way. I mean, this is all about a queen and her walk through a park. And here is one queen, this beautiful bird that's embraced by all these beautiful pearls and florals and diamonds and rubies. And it just simply gorgeous. Everybody loves birds. You can see there's two different color stories in that. And here you have in the park are beautiful dragonflies and this gorgeous queen's shoe brimming with flowers. And you can't see the little, where's the giraffe? There's the giraffe with the butterfly bow tie. That's all in this queen's whimsical park. And here's, again, gorgeous flowers and more birds. And you can see how this all works together. Here's a lighter version of the queen's shoe and the giraffe with the bow tie. So you have choices here. I think the scale on that is a little different too.
Yes.
It's smaller than the blue one. Probably hard to tell here. And another bird that's in the Queen's
It's a scale
part,
down.
scaled down, and some beautiful, I call these like little fleur-de-lis, but I know that's not the right description, but you get the point, in 2 different color stories. The best part about this, these colors all works together. It's, how many SKUs is this again? I'm sorry. This
15.
is 15 total fabrics that all kind of mix and match across each other. These are really beautiful little prints that you can use as fillers, especially these right here, that kind of are your dot or your solid. And this is, yeah, this is pretty.
Yeah.
This is gorgeous.
But if anyone has looked at the video that Odile did,
Yeah.
it's a very nice video. Like, I love these hexagons in here. And then also in this one, Nancy, not to disrupt
That's right.
your flow, but Odile talks about the eye, the watchful eye in the garden.
Can you see the eye? It's all
Yeah.
hidden in there.
It's all
So she's got some treats hidden
And then this is supposed to be like a garden maze, but being
Right.
viewed from the top.
in 2 different colors.
We want to know if anything's on the selvage.
Anything fancy on the selvage? Of course. Here's one.
I think that's Odile.
So you can see here.
Yes, this would be really fun selvage to keep and use for something, especially with the little people. I think that might be Odile. That's her little thing.
Oh, yeah. Good
So
question. I like
This
that
should be at your local stores now. Again, I'll just give you a feast for all the color and how they all work together now that I've messed up this beautiful display of the fabric.
That's all right. Quilters love that.
And Sharon had mentioned, you know, our designers do videos that we post on FreeSpirit social media. So you can search for Tim talking about Abandon and Odile. Hers is all in French, which makes it even that much more beautiful, because what a beautiful language. And they're all on our FreeSpirit social media, and you can listen to this designer tell her story. And I think Sharon has something that she wants to share that's a real treat.
Well, right. Well, not that yet. Not just yet. So again, on our sales card, this is the Rococo quilts. Am I pronouncing that properly?
I don't know, I couldn't say the collection correctly.
Rococo.
Rococo.
Quilt, and this quilt is a beautiful patchwork. It's actually designed by Odile herself. So you can see where she's fussy cut the flowers in here. She's fussy cut a bird. You could see how this would look all patched up if you chose to make a piece this way, or you can fussy cut as she also did in here. So the collection lends itself to a lot of different ways in which you can work it. And then we also have this piece of inspiration. It's called the Queen's Dream. It's designed by Robin Long of Robin Ruth Designs. And Robin is well known for her Mariner's Compass. So the exciting part, though, is that we actually have this quilt. So Nancy is going to span around over here. And this is the gorgeous quilt that Robin made out of this fabric. And you can see how beautifully this collection works together, and its colorations and its design. And Robin started here in the middle with her Mariner's Compass, which you saw in the virtual quilt. She's fussy cut the bird here in the center. And then all of these circles around the outside are like little jewels. Well, these actually look like little jewels, these diamonds coming off. And then, these bigger circles here in the quilt where she's fussy cut the designs within the fabrics. And Robin said that she used the skinny Robin ruler to create this piece. But you can see as you look at it, the colors just bounce off of one another. There's lights, there's darks, there's mediums, there's large scale, there's small scale, there's medium scale. So there's all kinds of colorations to choose from, as well as design elements to play with this. So you have a lot of choices. And Odile always does such a fabulous job with her design. I love that shoe. That is just so antique.
Robin does a great job just highlighting, giving each little piece of this collection, each little piece of the Queen's Walk through the park, a little bit of spotlight, like these 2 birds. How beautiful is that? And she's used all the colors so beautifully across the entire quilt.
Yes, is there a way you can back up and show them a little bit more of it? I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. It's kind of hard for us to show you. Laying down on the table in here to show this to you, but beautiful quilt. We'll have pictures up. Robin will probably have some pictures up of it in the future. Yeah. Everybody's loving this quilt, so they want to see a better view of it. So Nancy's doing a great job.
Are the circles appliqued or inset?
Okay, let me get closer to the quilt
Let's
and
see.
answer a question. I believe, oh, it's Robin's technique. It looks as
They look
though
like
they're
they're
appliqued
appliqued.
on, yeah.
They want to know
That
the
would
same
make
about the diamonds.
So if you get closer, you can see, it looks like it's appliqued on,
Yeah, it does.
yeah, in there.
Yeah, oh, look, because
Yeah, you
pull
can
that.
see it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautifully stitched. Robin does beautiful work. And then
And
the diamonds are also appliqued
appliqued
on.
also.
Yeah, you can see it up close. In here,
I'm not making you guys see soon.
yeah, we're trying to move it slowly, but you can see it's really very nicely done. Great quilt.
In Robin's patterns, she makes everything so easy.
Yes,
I mean, don't let this be like, wow, you know,
Yeah.
this, you can do this.
yeah. Marinus Compass is always a beautiful quilting design.
And especially in this fabric. All right. Enough?
Oh, I heard that Robin and Lorraine Turner are both watching us.
Oh, wow. Now I'm really nervous.
No, don't be nervous. We're
All
good.
right. So we're going to go on. We're going to talk about Shell Rummel. And Shell Rummel, she moved to the beach. She used to live, I think, where, like Massachusetts or someplace like that.
No, New Jersey.
New Jersey, same thing to me.
No, it's not.
East Coast.
Up north,
come
up
on.
north.
East Coast, up north. And she moved to the beach and she became so inspired by her new peaceful and tranquil life in the beach that she did Time and Tide. Now, everything Shell does is so serene and calming, and Time and Tide, she does it again. And even more importantly, she really captures the ebb and flow of the ocean with this particular, I'll get this particular fabric because
Oh yeah, this is gorgeous.
this is gorgeous. You have to see
The
this.
focal piece of this collection.
Yes. It's
Just beautiful.
you can feel the ocean, you know, the tide coming in and coming out with this particular fabric. And it could be the centerpiece of your quilt. It could be a whole cloth quilt, or you could just cut it up into a million pieces. But it's just stunning. And what's the name of this design? Someone help me out here. This. On the
It's called
selvage. Let me
Tides.
see the selvage.
Oh yeah, look at the selvage here.
Another fun selvage.
It is. So Shell
Tides.
Rummel, Time and Tide,
Time
and
and
this one's
Tide.
called Tide.
Tides, and it you can feel the magic happen. If you're a beach girl like me, this is a must-have. And then everything that goes with it adds to what happens at the ocean, or the things that have inspired her since her move. She has some beautiful shells that she's done here in a real tonal. And here's another wave-like that's like a stripe. And this is almost like a dot or you know, a filler for you. Looks like birds.
Yes.
And another shell. But these are just absolutely beautiful, meant to work together and to create a sense of serene and calm. And I think Sharon has something she wants to show you.
I do. I always have inspiration I want to show. All right. So for Shell Rummel's Time and Tide, this is called the Mary Quilt, and this is designed by Erica Jackman of Kitchen Table Quilting. And what we like about this quilt here is that you can see, first of all, it's a lot of the collection in here, and you can see how it all works really nicely together. So all of the pieces of the collection are actually incorporated into this piece. The focal piece is cut up here, but you can see how it has been patchworked into the quilt. If you wanted to, I'm sure you could cut just a singular piece. You know, you could do a 4 square, or you could do a 1 big square if you bought that focal piece, and then you can add all those other pieces into that. We have this, which is really a very gorgeous piece. This is called Frozen Fountain. It's designed by Judelle Niemeyer, and that's of Quiltworks. And you can find this pattern on their website, quiltworks.com. And so what's so gorgeous about this one is we just showed you the collection, but look how it looks, you know, developed in this piece right here. You can see it's a very calm piece. You've got the center, and the way Judelle designed it is if you look at these different elements, this is the bigger quilt right here. And Nancy, if you come down here to the right, you can see that if you wanted to make a smaller version, you could make this version. And then as you move over here, you could make it a little bit bigger if you wanted to. And then when you come up here, that same center, like we already showed you, makes it into a much larger quilt. So you have several versions in which you can make. This large one is a 99-inch quilt, and this one's a 77-inch quilt, and this is a 65-inch quilt, square. So all of these are really beautiful, different pieces that you could design of the same, pattern. And it just shows this collection so differently, which is what's so fun about these particular pieces. Again, there's Erica's piece, and Sarah is holding up another piece that we wanted to show you right here, Nance. You can pan on over. So this piece was designed by Carrie Thompson, and what we like about this one is that, again, just like Erica's piece, you can see down here that we've pieced it. So we've shown a quilt where you can piece it, or you can use the big pieces of the main print. The tie is here at the bottom, but it's also here at the top. So at the bottom, it looks like the ocean, and at the top, it looks like the sky. There's just so many different ways. The quilt's a little wrinkly. Apologize for that. Didn't have time to steam. But the quilt really looks nice. So you can see that there's, various different ways in which you can use this collection. And as Nancy talked about already, this fabric up here, you could definitely make, a whole piece quilt with it if you wanted to, or put it on the wall, frame it up, quilt it and then frame it, stretch it over a canvas. There's so many different things that you could do with this. So
You could duvet with it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Pillows, you could do a lot of home deck with it. You could do napkins. I mean, it's really table runners.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. So if if you're a beach person, which I am, this is the collection for you.
Oh, I just love blues.
Right.
All right, cool.
All righty.
So that's at your local store now. Our next collection is from Anna Maria's Conservatory Craft. If you are not aware, Anna Maria works with a group of artists as she colors their art into collections. And this is Woodland Walk by Natalie Latte. Now, I don't know if any of you happen into anthropology at all, but you'll see a lot of Natalie Latte pottery and
Does she do
glassware, and I think she
homewares?
even does stationery and anthropology, as well as other major brands. But this is Woodland Walk, and this is Natalie's take on a French fairy tale. This is her observations as she walks through the woods, the silent woods, and all the things she encounters, such as the rabbits and the fawns, the rabbits hopping through the clover and the fawns, and the sound of the birds. And then, oh, yes, in her fairy tale, she's Little Red Riding Hood.
Oh.
So you could see here, I think there's a big bad wolf.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a big bad wolf.
There he is.
And there's also Little Red Riding Hood. Do you see
Yeah,
her?
I saw her right
There she is. So that's Natalie Latte.
there. Oh, here's the wolf again.
The wolf
He's
again, the
lurking
big bad
around out
wolf.
there. Yeah.
And of course, beautiful, the rabbits again, and the fawns and butterflies, the birds, more of the big bad wolf. She was really focused on that, huh?
Yeah, three colorways in that.
Yeah, and here's some more other fawns and flora and fauna, and the little deer,
Bunnies.
adorable little bunnies. Wouldn't that be just an adorable little Easter outfit for a little girl?
that would be sweet.
Yeah, and this looks like a toile to me.
Yeah.
It's almost toile-like, and I love this dark background. But this all works across each other. The colors are meant to work together. I love the kitten in here. If I found a kitten in the woods, it would go home with me.
Mhm.
And here's the squirrels and more birds. And I'm going to have Sharon hold this up,
Which one? This one or this one?
this one,
Okay.
because this is a fussy cutter's dream, and or just to be used again as a whole cloth quilt, or maybe as some beautiful little shams for your little girl's room. She loves kitties. Isn't this gorgeous? Now, if your local shop bought into this entire collection, she would have access to a pattern called Picnic in the Woods, which was designed by Anna. And here you could see those large, beautiful animals in this particular, what's the name, Mitzi and Friends. You can see those large, beautiful animals that are fussy cut as part of this quilt in the middle, the focal of the quilt in the middle of the quilt. So this particular pattern, Picnic in the Woods, is designed by Anna Maria. And if your shop bought into the entire collection, she should have this pattern. You should ask her.
Yeah. So let me just, sorry to interrupt. As Nancy already said, you can see the fussy cutting here in this quilt, which is very nice. Anna always does a great job, creating quilts like this. You can see the fussy cut down here in the corners with the birds. There are certainly elements of this that do not have to be fussy cut, like this fabric here with the wolf in it. But that's a beautiful quilt, and as Nancy said,
It's so sweet.
yeah, it is. It's very nice. And if you wanted to put more cats in it, or you wanted to do different elements of, if you like certain pieces of it better than others, you can always switch it up. This is beautiful as is, but if you wanted to put all the cats in here, you could fussy cut all the cats and put them in the center if you wanted, or the squirrel or the bunny. And then the other quilts that we have on our sales folder to show is these are 1 yard quilts that are designed by, It's a Snap by Donna Robertson of Fabric Cafe. And Donna has some books on doing 1 yard cuts to create quilts. And so, here you're just taking 3 fabrics, 1, 2, 3, yeah. Light, dark, medium. And I want to make sure it wasn't 4. And, you create this quilt. And then on the back here's another version of it where we're taking just 3 yard cuts, right? So you take a light, a medium, and a dark and create this. And what I like about this one is if you wanted to, you could buy the panel and you could actually put the cat or the squirrel, or, you could fussy cut these if you wanted to actually into this quilt. And you could reverse it. I mean, you could, if you put those there, it would be kind of light. So then you could maybe put the dark here and then leave that light. So there's all different things that you could do with this, to switch it up and make it your own. We're just trying to give you some ideas of what you could do so that you could try to envision the fabric.
And when you follow Donna's formula,
yes,
very quick,
it's very
and
quick,
easy, and very successful every time.
Right, exactly. And this quilt we currently have out, it's being made as we speak. So we will have that soon, and we'll be showing pictures of it once we have it, and physically have it. We don't have it yet, but it's being made. So look for that and look to your local quilt shop for the pattern. As long as they bought into the collection, they will have
where
that.
do we go now?
Now we're going to go over here and look at Katie Pasquini.
So this is Dance Moves by Katie Pasquini. I don't know if I could get Katie Massabus.
Katie
Pasquini Massabus, right. So I don't know if you know Katie Pasquini Massabus. She's a very well-known quilt artist in the quilting world. And this is called Dance Moves. And this particular collection, it dances
It does.
through
It's
the
fun.
shapes and colors, and it dances through your quilt. It provides a lot of different textural elements for your quilting, and it helps your eye dance across your quilt in a fast and fun way. But what's even more interesting about Katie is that when she gives us her art, it's painted on canvases. So it's her paintings on canvas that we scan in and turn into art. And you can see, sometimes you can see the canvas, the texture of the canvas on the fabric such as this. I don't know if you could see that. I'm trying to stay very still so you can see it, which adds even more texture and interest in the fabric. So this is Katie Pasquini Massabus.
Yes.
Yes,
Right.
I'm saying it right, sorry. And this is called Dance Moves. I don't know if you remember some of her other collections she's done with us, Color Labyrinth,
Yes.
which has the same feel and look, just fun, beautiful, colorful, very easy to cut up and use fabrics.
Right. So what's also nice about this is that it shows so many, like Nancy said about the canvas fabrics here, but right next to it, she already showed you, it's a nice geometric print, very strong, very bold. And then these fabrics over here, look, they read more like solids. And then you've got the blue here and the pink colorway here as well. It's like a tiles, you know, or that's what it reminds me of. I love
Yeah.
it. And then this is a fantastic fabric. I mean, there's so much that can be done with that. You really want to add some punch to your quilt. Definitely go with this one. This complements it very nicely, as you can see. And then over here to the green, this is like the blue colorway that we already showed you on the top, very strong geometrics in it. And then again, these have such rich texture. You know, you want to touch it. It almost feels like, it looks like it's real. It's cloth. And we want to show you a quilt. Well, wait, let's show them these quilts, and then Sarah's going to show a couple of quilts. So these quilts are on our sales folder, and this one is called Weave Quilt, and this is by Lee Chapel Monroe. And what's fun about this quilt is it's just showing half-yard cuts to create a quilt. So if you wanted to just go and get, what's this, 2, 4, 6 half-yard cuts, you can put this quilt together. And then there was one more, strike quilt. And this one, you do the same. You get 6 fabrics, all half-yard cuts, and you can put this quilt together. So a very modern feel to both of these quilts, but you can see, you know, like the black and white in there, how it gives the quilt a lot of movement. The green in there works really well, and you get the punches of purple or pink in there that look really pretty. And again, half-yard cuts will create both of these quilts.
So you can almost flip-flop the colorways, like use
Right.
this blue and green on the other one
Right.
and the purple and green, you know, so you have some choices there.
Mix and match, however you'd like.
They dance.
They do.
Dance
they do.
moves by
Dance
Katie
moves.
Pasquini Massapus.
Yes.
In stores now.
12 SKUs. And wait, Sarah's holding
Sarah's
up. We have
got
2
some-
more live quilts to share. And so Katie sent us this quilt, and we just got it actually. We just opened it today. So fantastic quilt. So you can see how she used her blacks in the background. You know, this one here with the texture, this other one here. And then she added some solid blacks and grays to it, pulled it all together in the background with black thread, which is fantastic. And then you can see this other print. Let me just grab it. Nancy's going to show you the quilt while I pull this over. So you can see that the centers of all of those are created with this fabric. So this is applique on. This looks like a raw edge applique right here. This looks like a turn machine on here. And, you know, she just cut up all these little elements and put them onto the quilt. But you can see, you know, she's showing us how to creatively use her fabrics. And I really think that that's a great use of this. And, you know, this could have been used for the binding if you wanted to. You know, you can just switch it up. I mean, you could switch up. You could do all, you know, more solids from her collection. And you could switch this however you want. But Katie, who better than Katie to show us how to use the fabric?
Just like her paintings. But I love the black and white background, the black and white and gray tones in the background and how those circles pop off of that.
It's a bigger quilt. This one also came in today from Katie. You can see the log cabin in that, and you can see how nicely she, again, has placed her fabrics. Here's the black that, you know, we've shown you and how she's cut it out. And, you know, she's put some beautiful solids with it. Solids, you know, regular solids, but also solids from her collection. There's that print that Nancy was showing on the canvas, where Katie paints right on the canvas. And if Nancy pulls out, you can just see, you know, you get the lime green in the center, you've got that hot pink, and then the corners have the blue.
I just love how she used that black and white and gray in the center of her log cabin blocks.
Careful, I'm gonna back up
I'm
into
gonna
some
back up
fabric.
into something.
Yeah.
I should beep when I back up.
There's the back of the quilt.
Oh, look at that. That's
This
gorgeous.
is one of Katie's prints as well, not from this collection, but a previous collection. But you can see it just all works so beautifully together.
Love it.
So dance moves, shipping to stores
Now,
now,
run.
right? Sarah's tall. Sarah, you're doing a good job. Wave to us, Sarah. We want to see you. All right, and then we have one last collection to show.
Last, but certainly not least,
No.
is Migration
Yes, so
by Lorraine Turner. So I hope you follow Lorraine on her social media. She does beautiful quilts. She's a self-taught quilter. Her story is very interesting. We did an Inspire By with her, and I would encourage you to search for it and listen to her story, because she'll inspire you just by her attitude and how she's gotten to where she's at today. But this is migration, and it's all about the natural migration of animals. And so if you could take a look at like this particular fabric, this fabric has, I don't know if you could see it, it has a map behind all the animals. And you see it, like this is a continent here, and then this is the ocean. And she takes the animals actually naturally migrate. Like, so these are land animals and sea animals. So I think this was really clever what she did, but you really, you know, somebody pointed that out to me. Otherwise, I don't know that I would have actually seen it, but this actually shows you the migration across land and sea.
Interesting salvage.
But look at the salvage. Here's more salvages for you guys to collect.
Yeah.
I think they're all different on each
Yeah.
side.
Oh, are they all different?
So this one, I love this one because this is, what is it called? They're cranes. It's like an overhead view of cranes migrating. But this would be a perfect spot for what your quilt, or maybe even just, you know, a filler. But I love this particular pattern. And then of course here, this is a solid that she's designed, and it's all the little footsteps of the animals migrating in a different color story. And this one, absolutely beautiful. So this, what is this called again? Help me. I know it's around the floor.
It's called overhead terrain.
Overhead terrain. This is just stunning, stunning, colorful. And there's mountains in here. Here's a waterfall. You can see the waterfall.
It's
This is kind of
upside down.
backwards to me.
It's upside down. Here, let's turn it this way.
So this is mountains and waterfalls and jungle and everything an animal goes through as they migrate. Does that make sense?
Yes.
See the waterfall and the mountains?
Lorraine?
It's just beautiful. Just color everywhere. No need to worry about what you're cutting. Just cut it up.
Yep.
This one is on the move. And this is like, and I should show it to you, right? This is like a natural stripe with great interest because of the animals. And this is perfect for cutting on for like a bias binding or even as a border on your quilt.
Yes. What a great stripe.
And then she has her wildebeest and the hunchback, beautiful hunchback whales for all those people who love to save the whales, and a beautiful floral, and her puffins and butterflies, and then iceberg, which again, just lots of beautiful color. So this is Migration by Lorraine Turner. And, you know, she does a lot of collage quilts. So if you follow her on her social media, she'll show you how to do collage quilts with this particular collection. I'm sure she's got stuff up there already with it. So, and now Sharon's going to talk about, she's going to inspire you.
Yeah, I'm going to try to inspire you. Lorraine already has. So this is the Violet Quilt. It's designed by Erica Jackman, and again, a kitchen table quilting. And, you know, just great. Look at, she's got the whole collection in here. She's got the soft blue in the background. Great quilt. Shows off the collection really nicely. Here is a, I'm going to butcher the name, Paradiso Pack.
Backpack.
A backpack by quirkybee.com.
Cute.
If you would like to make a backpack, it's showing you what a beautiful way to use the fabrics there. And then this is another quilt, Going Home by Patty. Sorry, I know this is Lorraine's sister.
Famolero.
Yes, sorry, Patty. And look at this quilt. This is great. You get the flying geese in it, and it's just, you know, these triangles here look like, you know, mountains along the edge. I don't know if that's really the intention or not, but it's what it looks like to me. You get the whales in here with the ocean, and it's really put together quite beautifully. This almost looks like it could be the sun or something here in the center.
Could be.
Yeah, it just depends on your perspective and how you're looking at it. But there's a couple of ideas of inspiration. And the last piece that we have is over here on the wall. And Lorraine sent us that piece. It's just the quilt top. And Lorraine's working on that piece. And it's a beautiful piece. It's called I'm Blue for You is the name of the pattern. And it includes all SKUs from the collection. And this pattern is designed by Wendy Shepard. So you would have to look there for the pattern. I'm Blue for You. And Lorraine wanted us to tell you, it includes all 12 SKUs in the collection. They look like they're framed up beautifully. You can see both of those, I don't know what I'm gonna call it, like an arrow here coming
Yeah,
down.
I love that part.
Yeah, it really looks nice with the background. And these almost look like, you know, some quilts that are called like seed packets or something like that,
Right,
that really
they do.
showcase, you know, little windows of all those pieces of the collection. And so again, just like many of the other collections that we showed, you can see that they're prints that read as solids. We've got a lot of places that you can fussy cut. There's a lot of punches of color. There's large scale, there's small scale, medium scale, and they all work very beautifully together. And you know, you can see in this quilt that it really does. This one's actually really cool, where you can just see like the fin cut out up there. So it looks really neat. There's a lot that you can do with these. So I think that's all we have for everybody today. Oh, God. So Nancy's putting my face in the camera here. So wait a minute, you need to come over with me. So there's Nancy and I. Sarah, come on over.
Nope.
Well, I'm coming to you. Here's Sarah. So thank you, Sarah, for joining us today. Appreciate it. Nancy,
Bye. Thank you for joining us.
And then me, here I am, and we will see you all in 2 weeks. We'll be back, and we will be back with June Taylor. So we will see you then. We hope you've enjoyed this today, and we hope that we see you in 2 weeks. Looking forward to it. Have a great day, and thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye.